Right, how you all doing? Interesting day for me. Not so much for anyone else, but I felt this worthy to note. So, I keep things. I get attached to things. Silly things, really. Anyone that knows me, it's really silly. I've mentioned it before. There's a little piece of blue tinsel. That's a blue pipe cleaner on my wrist. I've had it on my wrist since my oldest was about 4. He ain't 4 no more. That was a long old time ago. Him just starting school. He's now in high school. I mean, that one might seem silly, but that one might be a bit more obvious. He was trying to be nice, bless him. Little lad trying to cheer me up, trying to cheer his dad up, and so he gave him this little blue piece of pipe cleaner. I mean, you can barely even tell that it's blue, and it's held on by. There's only like a couple of pieces of it left, and it's held on by the orange is from a medal, and I've mentioned that like loads of times too. It was a medal that they'd gotten when we went out one day, and they kind of lost attachment to it, and I got it, and I just wore it around my wrist until it started to kind of crumble. The stuff around my wrists here, these are ribbons from cakes for anniversaries that my friends and I have had for podcasts and stuff. So, you know, those might seem a little bit more kind of, there's a bit of an attachment there. There's some sentimental stuff. I've got a chest back at my folks' house that has been engraved with a book in it that was written by someone I knew years and years and years ago. Just little things, notes, drawings, song titles and stuff like that. Really, really sweet. This person I don't really speak anymore. Really nice person, but I've still got it. A lassie once gave me a surfer pendant, right? I haven't spoken to her in years and years and years. Still got it. Another random one. Plastic cheese grater box. It is sat in a paper bag back at my folks' house with some other little bits and bobs in it. It's been there for like 13 years now. Kept it. Little bottle of scotch. It's like a shot's worth of scotch that my little brother got me when I was like 18. It's either my 18th or my 21st. I'm pretty sure it was my 18th. Got me this little bottle of scotch. This little shot of scotch. Still got it. So I tend to keep things IRL that hold a little bit of sentimental value. I cherish moments I share with people. Admittedly, I also kind of let little things spoil some of those moments too. But but when it comes to digital, I'm nuts, I think. It's the simplest way I can put it. Like, I hoard pretty much everything. I'm really sucky at keeping my own stuff, but other people's stuff, got it all down. I've kept files from like the last 2 decades, and I get really aggro if I just lose like one file. The idea of losing a file, one single solitary file, is enough to just make me flip out. I've got hard drives and hard drives and hard drives of random footage that I've filmed, random photographs, text documents, scribbles, pictures, whatever, things that people have sent me. And it's just full. I am a digital hoarder. I'm an archiver. The idea of losing anything would normally just cause me to, that's it, it's all over, table flip, and it's all done, right? So the whole point of today's vlog is, I think I might have broken the cycle. It's weird. Like, I'm kind of torn about it, to be honest. I've been organising files because we've got the Synology NAS set up, and I've just been copying other files, copying other files. I think I've lost a lot of my music. I was looking for music the other day and I couldn't find a load of it, and that really ragged me off. But realistically, it's music, it's not stuff of my own, which means that chances are I could just go and get a CD and rip it again, and it's not that big of a deal, right? But like, the more personal stuff would do my head in if it's like a video clip or a photograph that I shot. That would do my head in if I lost it, right? And I'm transferring files, and I actually bust out one of my other laptops. It's one of my other main laptops that I fixed like last year, and it was literally a main work machine, and I really like it. It's this thing. It's an Asus ROG Strix GL 503 VM. How did I remember that? That's nuts. But it's pretty ancient in the grand scheme as far as laptops go. But I've loaded it with storage. Not as much storage as it could take. It could probably take another two terabytes, to be honest with you. But it's got a lot of storage on it, and I went on it today to transfer files. So I was like, whoa, what's up with all this space? It's all gone, man. Like, the main drive is completely packed, and that's a terabyte SSD. What's on it? And it was a bunch of daily vlogs from, like, last year. And there's random little videos, like, actual, like, clips of me walking around and doing stuff like that. Just months and months and months of these little clips. And I'm normally super protective over that kind of stuff. Same with, like, photographs. Now, as I say, you know. And I connect up a LAN cable. I start copying these files over, and I watch the file transfer go to completion. So like, I know that it hasn't just gone 3/4 of the way and cut off. I've watched it go to completion, and then I do a check. I just right click, check to make sure that everything's gone over there. Do the number of files match? Do the number of directories match? Do the file sizes match? No, they don't. In some cases, not at all. Some really close. Sometimes just the file sizes are a bit off for like the entire lot. Some directories, maybe it says it's missing a file. Some of them, it'll say like it's, I don't know. Just depending on where you looked, it said that the files were different. So if you looked on the say the Synology NAS file browser on the NAS, it would say just one number. If you looked on Windows, it would say another number, and that, and it kind of like it twigged that part of my head to say, you're losing stuff, man. You're losing stuff. These are important. They're not. They are to a degree, but they're not. It's just me mind dumping into a camera. Or other random little moments. Normally, I would painstakingly go through every single file, checking name, file type, file size, making sure that nothing's corrupted. And someone's going to say to me, dude, you do know you could just check the hashes for that, right? Like, just like load up the original file. There's a hash. Here's the copied file. Here's the hash. Do the match. If the answer is yes, it's copied over fine. You don't actually have to manually go through and check every file. I don't know why I do. It feels right to me to go, here's the file. I've now checked it. I've now seen it works. It works. It's there. It's fine. It's good. Whereas, I don't know, just in my head, it's like, that's just a hash. Like, anything could be there. That could be. So, and so, like, as I said, normally I'd check. And there were thousands and thousands of files. I think I copied over not quite a terabyte, but we were getting there. Well over 400 gig in just like one file in one directory, and then spread over, I think on the second drive, another couple hundred gigs, and I was just like, so you're probably talking maybe 600 or 700 gigs today-ish. I was like, it would take me all day to sort this out, and I was kind of getting a bit aggro with myself, to be honest with you. And then I just was like, fuck it. I mulled it over. I sat there thinking about it. And then just this evening, I was like, right, files. This one, it's got the same number of files in it. Yeah. Same number of directories. Yeah. This one, files, directories, match. Yeah. Right. It's not all the same. Select all, delete, gone. I was like, fuck it. It's gone. If it turns out that in some time I go back to those directories and or I bust out those files for whatever reason, and that one file I desperately want ain't there, or that one file that I desperately want to see just doesn't work, oh well. It's doing my nut in now that I think about it, 'cause I'm like, oh no, I could have just lost something. I could have lost something really important. Like, oh no. But we've all had, memory cards fail and stuff like that. Hard drives, I've had no end of hard drives fail. Christ. All my pictures of when I was a teenager and that all gone. There's only a handful left, I think. A couple of my mates have got a few. But I ain't got much of that. And so I just hit the delete button. I mean, there's a copy in theory on the NAS. The file differences, the size differences could be that that's using butter and the other drives are using NTFS. And I believe butter's got like an automatic kind of smart compression on it, which could explain the differences in file sizes, but it's done. It's gone. And it's weird, because I'd have never normally done that. I'd have sat there and checked every file. Just trying to get past that OCD, man. I mean, I've got mic checks, sound checks from like 2011. If you go back to the cassette days, I've probably still got cassettes. Sound checks on cassette. From, like, useless, literally useless sound checks from, what, the 90s? Late 90s? Now, in fairness, don't get me wrong, when it comes to life, it's not like I'm wallowing in, empty cans and pot noodles, like rotting all over the floor. But when it comes to the old digitals, oh, I don't know, because I always feel like, even if it's a botched job, even if it's a screwed file, like a picture that didn't quite go right, maybe there's a texture I can salvage for another project later, or there's a sound file where the audio just didn't go quite right. Maybe I can use that to sample later. That's kind of the way my brain works. Oh, what? That's broken? Well, maybe I can salvage that for parts later. And so today, to just literally copy over what were some really important, important to me files, to copy these over and then just go, nah. If they're there, they're there. If they're not, gone. Pretty big deal. I feel it's a pretty big deal. It's one of those letting go things. Could I do that to any of the physical stuff that people have given me, like gifts and that? No. No. Even if people hate me, if they've given me a gift, I keep it. Even if it turns out that person was a complete bastard, I keep it. Looking at some photos on my wall of some complete bastards. Nah, they're alright. Does anyone else do that though? Just like keep everything? Be it digital or physical. I know obviously some physicals, people go mental and like hoard newspapers from this one specific day in the 1962. I've got every single copy of this newspaper from 1962 on this one day. I don't know. So, and you're like, what the fuck is that about? And they've just got like an entire room full of the damn things. But I can't be the only crazy person to do that kind of thing digitally. As best I can, anyway. Like, terabytes and terabytes of hard drives, man. Feels weird. I'm terrified that I deleted something important, but we'll see. Broken the cycle. I've been chilled out watching Cobra Kai and testing other UVC USB 2 capture devices. Not great for Linux, this one, but it does work. Avamedia, Live Gamer Mini. I used to do some testy stuff for these guys years and years and years ago. That's my day, man. Freaking out. So, I hope you're well. Seriously, if any of y'all was like, give me a gift, like, this ring, it's not, shut up you, it's not even my groove. But it was given to me. I used to wear an earring, right? It was just a fork. And I got pulled out my ear one day and it's disappeared. I was devastated. It was just a cheap little hook with a fork on it. Like, I desperately want that back. But it just is gone. No one else said that? Anyway. Gonna head off. Hope you're good. I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. Silly, innit?